What it is? It's another episode of You Don't Have to Be Perfect, and I have a friend with us. The Monday night to the country, we got lucky. Gotta get started, don't overthink it. Just go where your heart is, turn your dreams and your goals. Let your goals shape how you live. Success is inevitable if you're willing to give up your old self. Y'all ready, ladies and gentlemen? It's gonna be a great conversation. Sideline judges, non-believers, people holding their grudges, appreciate the hate. It comes with the winnings. When you watch making the money, stop from the beginning. Your excuses are useless. Let your actions be part of the solution and watch the income it produces. Recognize greatness, a supreme revelation. Years of blood, sweat, and tears to become an overnight sensation. Can't do it alone. I should have said this first. Teamwork always makes the dream work. Teamwork always makes the dream work. You know what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is another episode of You Don't Have to Be Perfect. And we got someone special for you today. Fresh into the country, movie star extraordinaire, the founder of the Inner Star Awards, and so much more. Miss Jacinth Headlam, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, welcome back into the country. You're doing some big things right now,
you.
sis.
Man, all I could say, I want to be churchy, but to God be the glory.
Amen. Amen. We ain't got to not be churchy here. We go, we give God the glory for all things. Because what winds up happening, especially for a lot of our leaders, we forget who gave us this power. Mm-hmm. If you separate yourself from the power, you separate yourself from the glory. So we're not going to do that here.
That's it.
This is God blessed, right? This is God work.
Thank
so
you.
Yes. So Inner Star Awards is coming up.
Yes.
So first of all, there may be some people who are watching our show that may not know what is the Inner Star Awards.
Well, the Inner Star Awards is our annual staple event where I wanted artists and creative students to feel recognized, to be seen, to be celebrated. Initially, I wanted it to be a film festival because I really didn't, as a filmmaker, film producer, actress, I didn't see any kind of filmmaking outlet for the film industry here in the Lehigh Valley. And I wanted to create that. So initially it started out of me wanting a film festival. And then I'm like, but this area is bigger than just film. I see visual artists, I see dancers, actors, musical artists, visual artists, literary artists, DJs. And I'm like, why don't we just celebrate the arts overall? So I feel like it's the Lehigh Valley Grammy.
I love it. I love it. So what inspired you to actually start Inner Star? Because what happens is people get so caught up in their own world, no one thinks about giving others their flowers. What made you think about giving other people their flowers?
Because I don't want that stigma where people feel like, oh, you have to be a legend in the game or a pioneer in order to be celebrated. What about the trailblazers who are waking up every day in and day out and never got an appreciation or never got their flowers or their token? Like, for example, there's so many testimonies that people just calling me or just coming to me crying saying, look, I've been in this business for 30, 40 years or 20 years and I've never gotten an award or never been nominated or recognized for being a beautician or being in the fashion industry or being a dancer or being in film or being a DJ. So for me, when I get those moments and see how hard a lot of the people here go for Inner Star, the Inner Star Trailblazer Awards, I'm like, this is why I do what I do.
And you guys do a great job of celebrating local artists and local stuff, but also bringing back some legends. Because I think I saw Mr. Cheeks in a video with an Inner Star Award.
Yeah, Mr. Cheeks is in the building. He was one of our honorees. He's so dope. So he was one of our honorees and performers last year, along with Sammy. We've had Jeremy Meeks. We've honored Roxanne Shante. We've just to name a few. There's been a few artists that have paved the way. So I try to mix it where, okay, here are some honorees that have paved the way, have made a name for themselves, who are well known, and also here are some upcoming trailblazers who are paving the way and also up and coming in terms of rising stars in terms of our students.
And I
So
love it. I love it because, like I said, to see Mr. Cheeks with an Inner Star Award and something means that you're doing something big because, you know, he could have carried a Grammy, he could have carried anything, but he was proud to have
yeah,
that Inner Star Award. When you see uh, people who've gotten Inner Star Awards in the
yeah.
past and the pride they carry from carrying it, how does that make you feel?
Man, I feel like just I'm in awe, just grateful because it's so much bigger than me. And there, I'm not going, I'm human, and there's time when visionaries and the strong ones get tired.
Hmm.
And it's a lot on my back, and it's a lot, to carry a vision so big. In the Star is just not about the award show. We have, in the Star filmmaking program. We have our Glow Confidence program. We also have Global Initiative, where we, starting our art movement in Liberia, our art movement in Nigeria, our art movement in Cayman Island, and now, shifting to Jamaica 2026. So when God gave me this vision, he said global impact. So, and I didn't know what it meant at first, but I started to see it little by little and started piecing it together. And I was like, wow. So it's a big vision, but one of the top mantra that I live by is, okay, God, if you gave me the vision, you already made the provision. I just gotta
Hmm.
walk in it, and I gotta trust, walk by faith and not by sight. This is a strictly faith walk. I don't
Hmm.
have all the resources. No, I don't have the money. I don't know where it's gonna come from, but it always just fall right into place.
I love it. I love it. And I love that you said that this is a faith mission because I think most businesses
Yes.
are a faith mission
Oh yeah.
that we that people lose their fervor, right?
Hmm.
And then they lose their faith. They lose that the energy behind it. So
Yeah.
it seems like you and I don't want to blow past but I do want to come back to the Inner Star
Yeah.
Awards. You said that there were other parts of Inner Star. I know that Inner Star has been intricate in teaching young people
Hmm.
how to write and act and also
Yeah.
produce their own films. What
Yeah.
else? For others who may want to know what Inner Star does, what else does Inner Star does? How does Inner Star show up in their world and in their communities?
Well, in addition to programming, thank God, for Fine Feather and Dream been a huge help with making that a reality and partnering with Star. But also away from the Star Trailblazer Awards, we're just trying to change the world and make an impact in the arts, one trophy at a time. So that's our staple event. So not only do we have Star here, this is our main hub. But we also trying to branch out to different countries. I have Bahamas reached out to me. They would like to bring in a star there. We have it in Cayman already, and the one that I'm really, really looking forward to next year is Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
that's
awesome.
home.
That is awesome. So there'll be possibly 4 Install Trailblazer Awards next year.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if other countries want to come on board and join the initiative, and as long as I can have a team and have a local team in their area that can say, hey, let's run with it, I'm there. We're here.
And I love it. I love it because the dream started off small, but now, and by year 3, actually year 4, you'll be in what, 4 countries?
This is our fourth year this year, fourth annual.
And that's so huge because there are people, there are award shows, there are groups that never get to reach the other countries. By your 4th year, you're already in multiple countries. How does that accomplishment feel when you hear it out loud?
Purposeful, because everything happens for a reason. When I started with my book and started out with the Love After journey and purpose, God was just like, now everywhere that you place your footprint, go back there within the star. So when I did Love After, I went with my book to Nigeria, I went with my book to Jamaica, I went with my book to, and then it's like, now go back to these countries that you've crossed paths on and connect it within a star, and where you tap into the community, because who don't want to feel celebrated. everyone wants to feel celebrated and appreciated and honored and awarded. So yeah.
And that is so important, to be able to give people their flowers.
Yeah.
That is so powerful, um, because so many people uh, pass away
Oh
without ever
man.
being recognized, not
Yes.
even understanding their greatness. What I love this year, you guys
Yeah.
are also honoring, Miss Carol, who just recently passed away.
Mm.
So that's, you know, very, very powerful. Miss Carol being someone who fought literally to the day that she died. I don't even think anyone knew Miss Carol was sick. So for Star to recognize that she passed and to provide an award, and are you awarding her or in her name? How's that
In
going?
her name,
Okay,
at the International Cultural Festival. So that's our pre-award show
okay.
at the International Cultural Festival.
Oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. So people are gonna want to get tickets. So how do people
Yes.
get tickets to Inner Store? What are some of the things that they can expect at this year's Inner Store Awards? Is it gonna be in the same location?
No,
Okay.
listen, 2025, this fourth annual Interstar Trailblazer Awards, we are collaborating with Live Nation's Archer Music Hall right here. It's a new facility, new venue, and we are up in there. And I'm just so excited to be a part of this collaboration, to be in this venue. So I call this year, when I was like, God, I need a word for this year. And the word that God gave me was elevation.
Mm.
And I'm not going to front, elevation came with a cost,
Mm-hmm.
literally and figuratively. But I trust the process and I'm trusting the journey. But when he put it in my lap for us to go here to the Archer and have it here this year, I was like, okay, you're gonna make the provisions, and that he's doing. So I'm excited to have it here October 18th at the Archer Music Hall in the main theater. Right now, tickets, if you get your tickets before tomorrow at night at midnight, so before the 4th, is 125 for VIP, which is the all VIP, all inclusive experience where you're having a full cuisine, dining, red carpet, media interviews, all of the shebang. And our after party will be here. And if you don't want the dining experience, you just want general, you just like, look, I don't want the food and I don't want the whole extra stuff, but I just want to be in the building and enjoy the show, then that's general. That's you'll be upstairs in the second level, and that'll be our general admission. And right now it's 55, but in 2 days, after tomorrow night at midnight, it goes to 75.
Okay, so y'all heard what she said, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all got basically less than 24 hours to secure the current price of 125 and $55. You know, all this is a nonprofit organization, so this does benefit not just her but others. So make sure you go out and you get your tickets right now. Don't wait till the last minute because you may not get in. So tell people, some of the amazing awards that they can expect, during this Star Awards, or some of the things that you choose to celebrate during this time.
Absolutely. So this year, one of our, I always like to bring Broadway to In the Star. So we always have a Broadway experience. And what I like about this year is that this is going to be like a dinner theater experience. So it's all happening all at the same time, family style, Butler style. So this year is going to be like Oscars. So
Mm.
while you're eating your dinner at your table, you'll be served. The show will be going on at the same time. Where before it was go upstairs when we were at Miller Symphony Hall, it was go upstairs, eat, and then come downstairs for the show. I feel like it was definitely, a longer time because you're upstairs for 2 hours eating, then you come downstairs. But now you're having it all in one. So I call it the dinner theater experience.
I
But I'm
love
really
it.
looking forward to the Lion King,
Mm.
presentation. We have an amazing theater piece that's going to be done. Shout out to Tyree and his partner. That's going to make this happen, Ciara. And they have been rehearsing day in and day out. So I'm looking forward to that. We also have Zelly Zell that's going to be performing as well, Alaji, And we definitely have some stuff up our sleeves. I don't want to put everything out there yet. We
Yeah.
have some great named artists that's coming through. We're just trying to get everything situated before I put it out there.
I love it. I love it.
So yeah, we definitely have that. And our after party is actually going to be here at the Moxie. So when you do get to the Archer, you're going to have a bracelet, whether it's going to be VIP or general. That's going to get you into the after party that will be held here at the Moxie. So they, are partnering with us as well to have our after party here and to host us. So I'm excited about that. We're going to have the VIP on the left side, and general is going to be on the right side, out in the hall.
I love it. I love it. And Innistar does a great job every year of really celebrating the youth.
Oh, that's
You
my
know,
favorite part.
um, I know as a young person, being able to get an award,
Yeah.
right, is huge, right? To be
Mhm.
able, because these young people get the same types of awards everyone else gets. Am I correct?
Yeah, so what I like to do, even though we have the Youth Trailblazer Awards and we always award our film students as well who have completed the summer program, I always award all of the youths. Even though I'm saying, hey, yeah, vote, 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 I'm like, I'm gonna award all of them. So I love to see the youth thrive and just tap into the arts. And it's not easy being on stage. It's not easy being in front of a camera, and whatever we can do, especially me, to encourage them, I love that. That's what melts my heart.
And I love it because you're an actress yourself, right?
Yes.
So you're behind the scenes and in front the
Yep.
scenes, right? Because you just came back from filming a movie. Am I correct?
Yes. Redeemed in Jamaica. I was the producer and also lead actress on that film
Oh,
as
you
well.
produced it as
Yes.
well. Awesome,
Yes.
awesome.
So it's gonna be lit.
That is awesome. So, do you want to talk about your production experience? I just thought you were an actress in
Absolutely.
it.
No,
Tell us a little
I was
bit
a
more.
producer as well.
That's
So
awesome.
I was in Jamaica for about 3 weeks. I just got back yesterday. Um, you know, and it's a faith-based crime drama film. It's about redemption. It's about, when my character grew up living a whole lie that she didn't find out till later on. So imagine you hearing about a lie that you thought was your whole identity this whole time. And when you find this truth out, it shatters your whole world, your whole identity. So
Mm,
now it takes you on this journey of finding yourself, redeeming, learning who you are, but most of all, forgiveness.
mm.
Forgiving the people closest to you who you trusted the most. So yeah, it's gonna definitely be an amazing, and we're gonna have an amazing red carpet premiere in Jamaica, top of the year. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna have some vacation packages. So if y'all want to come to Jamaica and turn up with us, stay tuned. Once we have the date locked in for the red carpet premiere, we'll definitely be sharing that with some tourism packages.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. So outside of, and I don't want to poo-poo it past this, right?
Mhm.
Outside of all of the stuff you're doing in community, you still are writing, producing, and acting. That's a lot of work, pressure. Do you feel pressure? How do you handle it? How do you find
That's a good
time,
question.
right?
That's a good question. Before, I used to be so stressed out and lose sleep and was so hard on myself because I wasn't meeting certain deadlines and because I was trying to do everything all at once. And if I didn't make certain deadline, I would like beat up on myself and it would be stressful. And now I'm just like, whatever is supposed to come is going to come. I was supposed to put out a book like a year ago. And every time I'm supposed to put it out, it's like another project came out of nowhere and knocked me off my course. And then another thing come out and knocked me off. And it's like, you know what? When the time is right, it will just happen. I'm not gonna force anything. I had to stop doing that. Don't force it. I just let stuff come to me, and if it's meant, it will happen. So I also just try to stick to what's important at this very moment. Like, yeah, I might want to start a podcast, and yeah, I might want to do that. But in this season, what is my purpose in this season that I'm supposed to do right now and focus on right now? And I had to learn how to prioritize.
I love that. Because you're saying understanding what your focus is, because it's easy to be
Oh
distracted, right?
yeah, trying to keep up with this and trying to do this and do that. You drive yourself crazy.
Yes, and to know, and I like that you said being focused for the moment, right? Because the moments may change.
Yeah, the moments always change. You go in seasons.
And I love what you're talking about here, because there are people right now that needed to hear that, right?
Yeah.
To free themselves in order to focus on themselves for the moment, right? To know that your dream is possible, because you're living multiple dreams right now, right?
Yeah.
As an actress, as a nonprofit leader, as a community leader, and do you still do QVC as well?
Oh yeah, that's my bread and butter. QVC is what funds everything I do. Yeah.
See, you
It funds
know,
my business. It funds InnerStar because a lot of the funding from InnerStar comes from me. When I have to do put deposits and put $7,000 down here, and I'm like, "Whoo, God, pray for my credit card," but it has to get done.
it,
You know.
and I love it. Because we're now talking about investing in our passions, right?
Yeah.
A lot of us um don't get to where we want to get because we're afraid to take jobs in
Oh.
spaces and places,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a business owner, right? You know, I'm I know I am always famous for that. What work for you? Where's my contract?
Yeah.
Like I don't take a job, I take a contract. But you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I love that you said what you said, because it's also freeing for someone to know that your first investor sometimes has to be you.
Oh yeah,
You know,
absolutely, hands down. Because if you're not going to invest in you and you're not taking a risk for your vision, what makes you think I'm going to invest in you and you're not even investing in you? So yeah, if I want to jump on board and I see somebody's grinding and doing their thing and what they're saying is enticing to me and to grab my spirit, and there I see that the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at their work ethic and I'm going to study and see how they're moving. Are they a risk? Are they good investment? Because people not investing in what you're doing, they're investing in you. They're investing in the person because they have to trust that as the visionary, you know what you're doing and you can carry this thing. So I'm looking at the person who's the visionary, and if they're good soil
I
to
love that.
sow a seed into.
I love that, and I want someone to hear that, because most people don't understand that. I've said it today in my daily video, right? I'm not a businessman. I'm the businessman,
Businessman.
like Jay-Z says
Yeah.
all the time. Um, People don't buy product; they buy people.
Mm-hmm.
The product is just a byproduct of the
Yeah.
person,
Yep.
right? There are children right now that buy Jordans. They've never seen Michael Jordan play a game,
Mm-mm.
right? If you are not over 40,
Mm-hmm.
you don't remember Jordan playing,
Right.
but there's kids that'll buy a pair of Jordans because of the feeling that their parents had
Mm-hmm.
when growing up with Jordans,
Yeah.
right? So now they pass on that nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that you're talking about building up you
Mm-hmm.
as a person,
Oh yeah.
as a solid figure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, People are going to support Star because Jacinth is a solid figure, and then she leads a solid team. You
Yeah.
know,
I mean, I'm glad you mentioned that because you can do this without a team. Like I have a strong, solid team in the star team, like from Michelle to Leisha to Angela to Siri, who is making sure our marketing and our flyers and our videos is on point. This girl don't get no sleep. To Lindsay, and then we also have some new board of directors signing on this month. Tyree Blair, Rennie Paris, Jacqueline Headlam. So just to name a few, but also people who are not on the board, we also have an amazing team members that's a part of our committee, like Tyree, who is leading the Broadway experience with his fiance Ciara. We have Tracia Walkers, who is seductive. It's her brand, Luxury Seduction, who is overriding the hospitality committee and making sure that we have ushers in place and everyone is assigned to the right seats. And
she
so
did a
that's
great
important.
job last year.
Yeah.
Under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, she's amazing, man. Making sure that our gift bags are on point. People don't play about their gift bags. people don't play about their magazines. So she's just trying to make sure that we just level up this year. I'm excited about that.
And I love it. Outside of the location, you know, that you talk about what a VIP experience looks like, the luxury bags and everything else. You know, because most, people think VIP just means I'm away from people, right? You know what? You create an actual experience. And I'm excited to see how that experience will be enhanced
Mm.
this year at the Archer. And
Absolutely. What I like about the Archer, before I even go into that, also another board member is John Watts.
okay.
And also Sarah Viteri, our amazing board of directors. But so I'm excited about that. And also our media team, Chris Armeno, Tony Ortiz, also Raga, our DJ from Baseline Internet. Like I can go on a name. I'm like, I don't want to start forgetting people. But just to name a few of our team members, like this would not be possible without them. And also back to your question, what you said about the VIP experience, you can't sneak into VIP this year. There's no way you can sneak into VIP. Like if they're gonna try, but it's not possible. Number one, the Archer security team is on lock. You talking about Live Nation.
Hmm.
So you're gonna have to walk through metal detectors because they're a concert venue. So
Hmm.
and they have security all over, and you cannot go through that VIP door. There's an elevator for anyone that's general. You go through the elevator, you go straight upstairs. You can't go into that VIP room. So it has its own section and own door. So when you come in the foyer, there's another long bunch of doors to go into the first floor, and then the elevator takes you straight upstairs to the balcony. But
Wow.
I actually like the balcony because it's nice up there too now, and you got your bar upstairs. So I think no matter what, if you're on the first floor, the second floor, it's a great experience overall.
I love it. I love it because the Arch is a beautiful music
Yes,
hall.
yeah.
To be able to leverage um, the new architecture and all of the energy in there. What I loved about NStar in the past is that it's felt like a big show. You know, when your performers perform, it doesn't. A lot of times you have shows and the performers performing. It almost feels like a nightclub.
Mhm.
But at Interstar, the last few years that I've been there, I missed your first year, but the last few years that I've been there, like the sound is coming out. Like you feel like you said, like you're at the Lehigh Valley Grammys or Lehigh
Yeah,
Valley, Emmys or whatever it is
yeah.
you may think it is that you need to be. Is that something that's intentional that you get big sound, you get big players, because the the sound itself um, makes a show. The sound
Oh
sounds
no, the
crap.
sound gotta be on point. What I like about the Archer too, even last year, we had to get a third party to come in and bring the sound system in
Hmm.
that we like to make sure that the sound was where it needed to be, that it didn't fall flat. It's the arts. You're gonna have performances, dances. You want to make sure that it's hype. It has to match the aesthetics. So when the performers are performing, I want to make sure that they know we're going to make them look good and sound good. And all their hard work and rehearsing is not in vain. You're doing all of these weeks of rehearsal and trying to put on a good show only for production quality to be blah. No.
Uh,
Yeah. So I met with a team at Archer, and I met with their creative director and whoever's going to be in charge of media and sound and the curtains and the lights. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be lit.
that's
I love
awesome.
it.
That is so awesome. That is so awesome. I didn't realize that you guys had to bring in a third party to get that sound
Oh
that you had
yeah, because
last year.
Miller Symphony Hall didn't have. They're a beautiful venue, but they're saying, hey, we don't have the type of setup we're used to doing orchestra. So they're an orchestra venue. It's a symphony hall,
Hmm.
so they don't have that 808, the bass and the sound and the what we're looking for to
Hmm.
that level and energy. So they said we have to bring in a third party that can make the sound what we need it to be, and that was an investment I had to make because I could not let that side. I couldn't let it,
Yeah,
fall by
and
the
that was a
wayside.
major investment. I want to make sure that our listeners realize if you were at last year's Interstar Award, you know how good it sounded into the crowd, so that shows, I guess that's the producer in you, right? It showed the production quality of the show, you know, because when you sat in the crowd, and I was blessed to sit in the back on purpose, because I just like to be in the back to see how things are.
Yeah.
And it really filled up the theater. So
Yeah.
it showed that you didn't just care about the person sitting in the front, but that guy, man, who may have been all the way in the back, that paid his money,
Yeah.
right, and really wanted to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful that to know that you invested your own time, energy, and money to provide that type of sound.
Yeah.
Because it shows a care,
Oh
a
yeah.
um a a want to deliver quality to the people. You know.
Yeah, that's what's driving me this year is the experience. For me, it's nothing else. If nothing else matters, I think making sure everyone leave with an experience, making sure from the time people get to the front, get to Valley Parking, that's gonna be here by at the Moxie. Just from the time they step outside and step inside, that it's a whole experience. That you have an usher escorting to your seat, that you have a whole experience from the time you get to Archer to the time you come to the Moxie and we turn up for the after party. It's a whole experience. I want it to be a great show.
And I love that you invest the time and the energy to create a great show, because I
Yeah.
don't think people realize how much time and energy it takes to create a great show. You guys basically start planning from the time you end the last show,
Yeah. Yeah.
to be able to put together, you know, um, production, good awards.
Yeah.
So how do you pick awards, or do you allow the people to pick,
You
you
mean
know,
the awarded design or the awardee?
the awardees?
Okay, so if it's a nominated category, that's for the people by the people, so that's the people's choice.
Okay.
So all of our nominations, we have 17 categories from film to music to visual art to literary arts to dance, to DJing. We have so many beauty, fashion. We have that filmmaking, and those 17 categories. We around May June we had where you can submit whoever you think for each category should be nominated. So we tried to put it out there as much as possible. We actually extended the time for inputs and nominations so that we can get as much inputs as much as possible. And then once we have nominations are closed, then we go through it. We go through and we vet everyone. We make sure that, hey, it's just not uncle over there trying to nominate somebody that they think they can sing, but they're not even singing. They don't even have a singing career. So we have to make sure that we vet everyone and making sure that their platform represents that. Because if I'm nominated for actor and you're also nominated for actor, of course we're gonna be nosy and go on each other's platform and make sure, like, who am I up against?
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make sure that if I go on this platform and the people I'm up against are valuable people, I'm like, okay, now I feel better that I'm going up against people who really do this. So if you have been doing what you're doing, and whatever category you're nominated for, that's what makes you qualified. Once we go through all the inputs and all the nomination, and then from there, the team and I come up with the finalists, whether it's the top final 6 or 8, and then we send the email out and say, hey, congratulations, you're a finalist for best actor, or you're a finalist for best DJ. And then the voting starts, which voting just ended. So once the voting starts, everyone get your people, get out there to vote. It's called People's Choice for a reason. That's time to tap in with your community. And it also lets you know what I like about the nomination and the voting and the People's Choice is that it makes you feel like, wow, people really support me.
Mm-hmm.
Because oftentimes as artists, we feel like no one supports me, no one cares, no one is coming out to my shows, no one is showing up for me. But when you reach out and you're posting on your platform, you say, hey, I've been doing this for years. I'm nominated for this award. I worked my behind off. Can you please take 1 minute out of your time and just go vote for me if you support me? And to see people show up and vote for you, like, hey, girl, I voted, I did it. It should boost your confidence as a creative. Like, wow, my community is really showing up for me. Because oftentimes you just need that little push and that little nudge. Like, no, you have support. You just don't ask. Closed mouth don't get fed.
Amen.
You know, so I think that when with this whole nomination and voting process, it reminds creatives to keep going. Like, yeah, you even if you don't walk away with the actual award on Star night, just the process alone should let you know that you are being celebrated and you're being acknowledged and recognized for what you're doing. Whether you walk home with that trophy or not, you're already a winner.
I love that you say that, and I wanna park there because it's not about the award. Sometimes it's just the nomination,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there are people who've never been acknowledged in any way. You
Yeah.
know, even if I get one vote from my mama because
Mm-hmm.
I've made it past that the vetting process, right?
Yeah.
That allows me to feel like somebody, right? Someone
Yeah.
heard me, someone saw me. We always talk about I see you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Inner stars and opportunities for these artists. Sometimes people who don't normally get awards because you guys celebrate community leaders as well,
Yeah.
who may not normally get seen, like doing community work is not a
Yeah.
very thankful job most times, right? So,
Yeah.
for you guys to know those community leaders and say, hey, even if they weren't the one that actually wanted for someone to get their name recognized,
Yeah.
because there are a number of people, so as their names circulate through whoever is in your database,
Mm-hmm.
those groups of people get to know these people that may have
Yeah.
never known them
Yeah,
before.
that's it. It's a
So
big networking opportunity. I've seen over the last 4 years, I've seen Interstar put so many creative peers together, so many collaboration where even before, after Interstar finishes, a lot of creatives become friends and they're connected. And now the following year, they're collaborating together or, they're doing projects together. So it's also a huge networking opportunity, a huge networking opportunity. So, just tap in.
And I say, parents of creatives. If you're not a creative, parents of creatives,
Yeah.
because Jacinth has been doing some great work in developing young creatives.
Mm-hmm.
Parents of creatives. This is a great time for you also to network for yourself and for your
Yeah.
children.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everyone should be a momager, right? Because if you're not managing material, please don't ruin your kids' careers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, please, network, get to know what's
Yeah.
out there, get to know who's out there,
Yeah.
because now it's funny that you mentioned Tony Ortiz, um, how much his son has grown.
Mm-hmm. He's one
You
of my
know,
students.
I know
Yeah.
how much he's grown in these 3 years,
Yeah.
right? He was, I still laugh about how shy he used to be
Yeah.
versus the confidence that he speaks
Yeah.
with now. So that's a testament to yourself and to Miss Andrine Noel,
Yeah.
for how you guys pour into these children
Oh
uh,
man.
every summer
Yes.
and during the fall,
And
because
doing it, yeah.
you guys
After
do after
school.
school
Yeah.
programs, so there are so many creatives that have learned how
Yeah.
to just express themselves. Jules Johnson's daughter is another one. Naya. She was one of your big helpers this year with your acting. I was. She's been with you guys like 3 years.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
love her.
yeah.
She's one of my leading actresses in the film Invisible.
Yes, you
Yeah.
know, and I still, and when I tell you, and this is for parents, find if you have a shy child and they are not very vocal, find this program,
Yeah,
find what they're
we're gonna get
doing,
them right.
because I watched that young lady blossom. You
Yeah.
know, I watched her go from head into her shirt, always having a talk, to always now speaking with her
And
head up.
wanting a leading role.
Yes,
And want like, hey, I want to be a lead. I want to audition. So
yes.
I from when we had with the Excelsior program, when we had the first year when I started the filming class, and they were so shy, and it was like, hey, what you mean? Like, you really do real film? Like, we really gonna be on camera? Is that even real? Are you lying to us, miss? And I'm like, no, you really we're gonna do a movie. And they didn't really think I was telling the truth. And then when they saw themselves at the recital on the TV, on the screen, they were like, whoa, we really made a movie. And then to see where they are now, year 3, it is like, wow, the transformation is real, just how much they've grown as actors, and with their on camera confidence and storytelling abilities, and developing their characters, and not shying away from some of these deep rooted characters who have to carry this emotional trauma. Like, some of these characters are dark.
Yeah, this year's Fine Feather performance, uh, your actresses and actors, you can tell that you've had for some time, because they dived deeper into subject matters,
Yeah,
that
illness.
mental illness,
Yes.
like that was deep,
That's deep.
bullying. I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, and they carried it.
They did.
They
I'm
didn't
so
just,
proud
yeah,
of
they
them.
carried it. Like, I was so proud to watch all the students, because this is the first year I didn't participate.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fine Feather, because I had so much going
You have
on
a
this
lot
summer.
on your plate.
This is the first summer I didn't get to
You
participate
had
with
your
you
own
guys.
program going on with the
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
We had 3 programs,
Oh my
but that's
gosh.
that's
Yeah.
neither here nor there. But till when I got to that recital and I saw my babies, because they're like, Mr.
Yeah.
Paz, I missed y'all summer. They give them a hug and to see what you guys have done.
Wow.
Like, to see them grow,
Yes.
to see their confidence, to see,
Mhm.
now you have kids who were shy talking about they're going to be student leaders next year, and they
Yes.
want to be counselors. That all comes from faith, right?
Yes.
And your guys' faith in them, and,
Yeah.
and you have a lot of patience, because last year, I don't know about this year, but last year's group to write, I don't know how. I was like, how is she doing this? I'm about to kill one of these little kids. Like, sit down, and stop. And she was like, I'm calling people parents, like, little Johnny is not who you think and it's always different for me, because I've been blessed to have a relationship with parents. When I
Yeah.
say
So
I'm
you
gonna
know
kill,
them,
I say I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
your son, it's because I know your son.
Yeah.
And I probably love your son or daughter. But they were alive, and you sat down and you got it done.
Yeah.
And they came out with an amazing project,
Yeah.
right? Something that you can be proud of, but more importantly, something they can be proud of.
Yeah.
So every summer you guys put out something that these kids can walk around with their head up. And do you
Yeah.
guys leave it up on YouTube for them to watch in the
Yeah.
future?
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna put it up on YouTube tonight as well.
Oh,
Yeah, because I think today I just posted the behind the scenes of making of the Invisible. So I'm gonna also put it up on YouTube as well, and because it's about 15 minutes long.
that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. And I didn't want to let parents miss that opportunity, right? The Inner Star Awards is one thing, right? But you've been doing a great job of helping youth and others find that inner star in themselves, right?
Yeah.
Not just waiting for an award, but allowing them to grow into their greatness. You
Yeah.
know, as we talk about the award show, which is important,
Mhm.
right? Because we need people to buy the tickets, because buying tickets supports all of the good work,
Yeah.
and we don't have to put in as many QVC hours, right?
No, exactly.
We don't want. Not we're not saying nothing bad about QVC, but we want her to be able to dive
I
into.
want to be able to do this full time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The more that my time at QVC gets freed up, and I don't have to drive an hour and change to Westchester and back and go back and forth, it will give me the time that I really need to really sit down and go full throttle with Inner Star and have full time programming, and just really do it on a full time level. There's always parents reaching out to me like, hey, how can I join the class, do a class? And it's like, I would like to do this on a time basis. I'm like, coming soon.
Yeah.
So that's in the work. Also a lot of people don't know, but we also have our empowerment, our empowerment circle that we have first first Sunday of every month. So this coming up Sunday is when we'll have our empowerment circle, where at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. we just go over some issues that we're going on in our lives. That's my time to like really pour into these ladies and mentor and pray for, and we mentor and we pour into each other. So just to have that safe community. I've always wanted that kind of sisterhood and bond, because I never really get to live a sorority like college life. I'm like, I always wanted that like sisterhood where we could just pray and pour into each other, and God would just like create it. I was like, oh, okay, like
That's
I'm doing
awesome.
everything else.
That's
So I
awesome.
created the Inner Star Empowerment Circle. We haven't really been advertising it like that, because I'm trying to not do too much where it's overwhelming. So once I have it all, like, okay, God, where do I go with this? I can start advertising people to start registering. People can register now if you're interested and want to join our empowerment circle and want to, join that, just a movement that we're doing. Just we help each other with our goals. We hold each other accountable. We praying with each other and for each other. Just email us at info@innerstar.org. And just say, hey, I would like to be a part of your prayer group or your empowerment circle, and I'll send you the Zoom link. Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. And I tell you, this hour goes by quickly. So I want to make sure before we go too far, people know how to find you, how to buy the tickets. Where can we, if we wanted to buy a ticket right now, how can we buy a ticket for Interstar?
Absolutely. Universe.com. That's UNIVERSE.com /Inner Star. That's INNASTAR 2025. Universe.com /Inner Star 2025, and it will come up. But also, if you go on any of our, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, the link is on all of our posts, all of our handles, links in the bios. You can't miss it. It's all on my page as well. So yeah, it's there.
All right, because we want to make sure that people can go out and buy tickets, support the Interstar Awards, and if anybody wanted to find any other information about Interstar, what you're doing, how to donate, right? Because more importantly, you're a nonprofit. So how does someone donate? How would they find that information?
Sure. Innerstar.org. We do have we are a 501c3 charitable organization. So it is a tax write-off. So if you want to go on our website, there's a link right there, and also a QR code where you can donate, and it goes straight to our donation page, which is through PayPal. You can use your card, you can use your PayPal, whatever. There's different method of sowing a seed into Innerstar.
I love it. I love it. So you hear, if you want to sow a seed in the Interstar, right, you can go to interstar.org, scan the QR code, make a donation. You don't even have to scan the QR code. Hit the link, make a donation, find a way to, really pour into a child by just donating what you can, right? It's not about how much you donate, but how much you donate from your heart,
And you can
right?
sell it too. Everybody's using Zelle. So if you want to use our email, info@innerstar.org, that's info@innerstar.org. You can Zelle it too, and just put in the thing donation so we can send you your receipt.
I love it. I love it. And I wanted to stress that it's not about the size of the donation. I remember one organization I was running, and the lady gave me $3, and she called me up apologizing. It's like, I'm sorry, I only gave you $3, but it was my last three
Oh
dollars.
my
And I said that was
gosh.
the most important $3 I got. And
Wow.
if you felt that our movement was so much
To
that
give
you're
your
gonna give me your
last.
last, I
Wow.
want, you know what I mean?
That's
Then
powerful.
so however you give, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let a dollar amount stop you from giving from your heart. If
Mm-hmm.
you heard something from Miss Headlam, if you heard something about what she's doing with the kids
Yeah.
and you want to get involved, don't hesitate. Cut
Thank
a
you.
check, Zelle some money, however it is you want to get involved, and make sure you go and get yourself an Interstar ticket today.
Or sponsor some students. Hey, if you can't make it, like, hey, I want to pay for a student, you can also sponsor a student, sponsor a table.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So you heard that. there's someone right now, because there's a student right now who can't get in.
Mhm.
Parent probably can't afford it for whatever reason there may be. You get a chance to put your wings on, right? Be an angel to someone. Pay for their ticket, pay it forward, allow them to be at the Interstar Awards.
Yeah.
So I love that you mentioned that because there's someone right now that may say, hey, I can't make it, but I still want to give. Hey,
Mhm.
I can't make it, but I still want a youth to make it.
Yeah.
So I love that you're telling someone that they can buy a ticket,
Yeah.
support a child, do something amazing. And I tell you, this time goes like quickly. you know, really fast. So tell them, when does your movie come out?
Absolutely. So for Love After Holidays is the one that's going to be out on BT this holiday. They start advertising holiday movies around like October ish. So when that date is released, we'll definitely be able to let everyone know. So stay tuned for that. Hoping we can have a local watch party.
Okay,
And
let's figure that out.
Redeemed right now it's in post production, starting to edit and things of that sort. So that's not going to be out till 2026.
Okay, so Redeems in 2026. So yeah, I realize she filmed the movie. So that means the movies don't just come out the day after, right? There's a
It's a
production, there's a
process.
process, right? And you got some big names in this movie with you.
Oh
Malik
yeah, Malik
Yoba.
Yoba. Oh man, he's super supportive. I love working alongside Malik. I'm like a student every time I sit across from this man, and I just soak it all up. And to hear, "Well done, Ja. You're such an amazing talent. You're so like you got it. Like girl, you got it." It just made my head like super swole. Like whoa, Malik told me I got what it takes to go far in this business. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah, so I just it's always good just working alongside Malik. He worked actually he was my therapist in Love After Holiday, and in Redeem he's actually my pastor mentoring me.
Oh, so this is
So
your
it's
second film
my
with.
second film with Malik. Yeah.
Ah, so that shows you guys have good filming chemistry.
And also, just for me to call Malik and him to come to Jamaica and come on board off of the strength of me is just I feel honored that
Mm.
hey, he was like, sis, I'm only doing this because you on it. He said, if it was somebody else calling me, I ain't doing it. But you're on it. I know that I'm in good hands. I'll come out. I'll be a part of the cast, and I'll come out and I'll I do my thing. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. I'm like, thank you.
Well, that is awesome. I want to make sure we catch that because there's somebody that may not caught that, right. Taking care of good people
Yeah.
always comes back, right.
Yes.
It's not always about how much money you have, but
Mhm.
the relationships that
Oh
you
my
build.
gosh, it's so important.
So I'm so grateful that you said that. And again, like I said, this time goes by so fast. So we want to make sure that everyone knows how to buy tickets, how to donate, give them all of your websites all over again.
Sure. Innastar.org. That's INNASTAR.org. That will bring up everything in a star. If you want to reach out to me, you can go to jacinthmediaproductions.com, or I'm Googleable. If you Google my name, Jacinth Headlam, everything's going to pop up. All my work, my IMDb, my Instagram is probably going to be the first at the top, my Facebook. I'm reachable.
Oh, yeah, I heard that, ladies and gentlemen. She's reachable, she's available for good work. So if you got good work, you want to do something big, or meet us at the Interstar Awards, October 18th.
October 18th. And also, hey, we also, my Jacinth Media production, we're also not just film production, but we also book writing and book publishing. So we have a lot of authors that's going to be coming out this year with their books that I had the privilege of working with. And some of them also want to now transition from book to film. So I'm so excited that God is like, hey, everything that I showed you and did for you, I need you to pay it forward and do it for your authors. So I'm excited to be on this journey with them.
That is so awesome. And this hour went by faster than we thought, ladies and gentlemen. We want to make sure that you go out and support Interstar. Go out and get your tickets in the next 24 hours before the prices go up. We brought her in early so that you can get it before the prices go up. So you can't blame me for interviewing her next week after the prices have gone up. So make sure you go out and get your tickets, go out and get involved, get a VIP ticket so you can get that whole dinner experience. It's going to be an amazing, amazing day. So before we sign off, I'm going to ask you to do with us what we've asked all of our guests to do. And that's say my personal manifesto. I'm going to say it all the way through. Please don't try to remember it. Actually, you're an actress, so you may catch it the first time. You may catch it the first time. So my manifesto is simple. It's, I love me. I'm worthy. Some people may not like me, but I don't care because the people that matter will be glad that I'm here. So we'll do it in call and response. I love me.
I love me.
I'm worthy.
I'm worthy.
Some people may not like me, but
I
I don't care because the people that matter will be glad that I'm here.
Glad that I'm here.
Yes, and we are glad that you spent this hour with us, Jacinth. We are glad that we got to hear about all of the things that Inner Star is doing. We're glad that we get to hear about the new Inner Star experience at the Inner Star Awards. We're glad to tell people that they have 24 hours to get the discounted code and get the discounted ticket. We're grateful to learn about all the things that Inner Star is not just doing in the Lehigh Valley, but abroad. We're grateful to see you grow, and we are so excited for everything that you're doing. Next week, we have Tommy from Oath, but before we go, we're going to give you the last word.
Listen, my mantra is dream big, dream bold, and dream endless.
Amen. Say that again.
Dream big, dream bold, dream endless.
Pat Simpson, this is another episode of You Don't Have to. Make sure you get your Inner Star tickets before they go up. Peace. And